Good evening and welcome to the 37th Annual Upper Dublin Medal Ceremony. I'm Pam Ryan and it is my privilege to serve as the Upper Dublin Education Foundation Vice President and a member of the Medals Planning Committee. So if this were a normal year, you would be here with me at Manufacturers Golf Club, and I'm going to picture you here tonight as a group, all taking part in this very prestigious event. I hope you enjoyed that wonderful montage. As we honor our 4 medalists today, we really couldn't help but celebrate the many people who have supported Upper Dublin throughout the pandemic, kept us going, and lifted the spirits of our incredible and vibrant community. So thank you. Now, I'd like to introduce my colleagues who serve on the Medals Committee and represent our 4 event partners. From the school district, we have Art Levinowitz, Steve Yanni, and Brooke Evans. From the township, Paul Leonard and Rebecca Lohofer Mahan. From the Fort Washington Business Alliance, Glenn Griffin and Kathy Disk. And from the Upper Dublin Education Foundation, Michelle Boaz. I'd also like to acknowledge the presidents of our 4 partner organizations. Darlene Davis, the president of the school board, Ira Tickell, Township Board of Commissioners, Glenn Griffin, president of the Fort Washington Business Alliance, and Heidi Overton, president of the Upper Dublin Education Foundation. So this team works diligently to add the magic to this event, and I think I can speak for all of us by saying that it's really an honor to be a part of this long-standing program and tradition. We treasure the Upper Dublin Medal program and its long history, and we're really grateful to those who have made an impact on our community throughout the years. So following our award presentation, please stay tuned. At the end, we're going to list all of the former medals winners, and in their own ways, each has contributed to making Upper Dublin the great place that it is. We also want to thank all of our selection committee members who participate in choosing this year's medalists. So I'll speak a little bit more about the student selection process a little bit later, but as you may know, it's our community members who nominate the candidates for awards in 3 categories. We have Outstanding Citizen, Outstanding Educator, and Outstanding Business or Nonprofit Organization. And there's a selection committee for each of these categories, and they meet to review the nominations, and then they select the winners. The committees are actually made up of a broad section of Upper Dublin. They're members of the Board of School Directors, the Township Board of Commissioners, the Upper Dublin Education Foundation directors, parent-teacher groups, the Fort Washington Business Alliance and business members, community members, and also some student representation. So we want to say thank you to all of them who have volunteered their time and their contribution to making this program great. Before we begin, I'd like to extend our most sincere gratitude and appreciation to our sponsors. So your gifts help the Education Foundation continue to enrich the learning experiences of our K-12 students, and we know that it has not been an easy time for anyone, so we really thank you for remaining committed to public education. We are truly grateful for your generous support. Now, let's turn our focus to the 2021 Upper Dublin medalists who embodied leadership, service to our community, and excellence. Here we go.
Who can turn the world on with her smile? Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? If you were watching television back in the 1970s, that theme song might remind you of the Mary Tyler Moore Show. If you've in any way been associated with the school district of Upper Dublin, those lyrics might make you think of Vanessa Good, the 2021 Upper Dublin Medal Award winner for Citizen of the Year. Vanessa Good could truly turn the world on with her smile, but like the television character Mary Richards, she was a force, a general force, but a force all the same. A force that manifested itself in having an uncanny knack for almost always knowing what was the right thing to do or the right thing to say. As a member of the Board of School Directors, Vanessa Good helped provide leadership, guidance, and support for countless initiatives, from full-day kindergarten to the approval and construction of a new Upper Dublin High School, to working with the Upper Dublin Education Foundation to help provide expanded opportunities for all students inside and outside the classroom. Mary Richards had to put up with Lou Grant Vanessa Good had it even more difficult, having had to work with 3 different superintendents of schools during her tenure on the board. What did those superintendents have to say about her? Well, Dr. Deborah Wheeler said, Vanessa Good's legacy is one of substantive yet gentle and kindly leadership in collaboration with her colleagues on the board, in the district, and in the community. She had the remarkable ability to balance common sense and intellectual thoughtfulness with genuine concern for the well-being of all. Dr. Stephen Yanni, the current superintendent of schools, said, I always describe Vanessa as a quiet force working behind the scenes to make change for the better, to provide opportunities for students. She loved Upper Dublin and held a deep belief that all students could realize success. She was truly one of the most humble people I've ever met. And what did this old former superintendent of schools have to say about Vanessa Good? She was special, she was kind, she was a beautiful spirit, she was courageous, and most of all, what I would like to say in the context of this awards presentation, that as a wife to Michael, as a parent to Brian, as a friend, as a volunteer, as a neighbor, as a public servant, as a school board member, she was and will always remain an inspiration. To close, if you'll forgive me, a slight alteration of some Broadway song lyrics. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the woods, who can say if we've been changed for the better? We have most definitely been changed for the better. Because we knew you, because we knew her, we have been changed for and by Vanessa Good. I'm proud to present the 2021 Upper Dublin Citizen of the Year Medal to Michael Good, the loving and beloved husband of the late Vanessa Good.
My name is Michael Good, and I, along with our dog Angus, am here to accept this award on behalf of my late wife, Vanessa Good, who was the light in my eyes and the love of my life. First, I'd like to graciously thank the Fort Washington Business Alliance, Upper Dublin Township and Board of Commissioners, the Upper Dublin School District, and the Upper Dublin Education Foundation for presenting this award to Vanessa. I also want to thank Dr. Michael Plattis for agreeing to present this award, as he was a special colleague and friend to Vanessa. Anyone who knew her would tell you that she would be humbled by this honor and likely feel there were others that were more deserving. But knowing her as I do, and for those who knew her best, her dedication and commitment to Upper Dublin schools and to the children they serve was hardwired and filled with passion. After our son Brian was born, we were living in Norristown and looking to purchase a single-family home. As they say, location, location, location. And Vanessa was an avid researcher and dedicated mother who wanted the best for her family. Both of her parents were educators, and she knew the value of a good education and how important it is in the development of young people. She and I were both educated in private schools, but were committed to finding a community with excellent public schools. After extensive research and talking with friends and family, Vanessa decided on Upper Dublin, and we built our home and moved our family here in 1995. Immediately, Vanessa became involved in the district by attending PTO meetings and eventually the school board, which she attended religiously. It was a time when the board was somewhat divided and multiple factions held seats, so the meetings were colorful to say the least. Vanessa never wavered or became disheartened with the proceedings. She just committed that she wanted to change the dynamic. She wanted the board to function in a way that created a clear, unified strategy and a path forward, but also allowed for diverse opinions. She also committed that she wanted to be part of that change. She was eventually elected to the school board, where she served 3 terms and helped shepherd the district to what it is today. Along the way, there were heated debates over new schools, teacher contracts, and the like, and that was just at home. She loved the meetings, she loved her colleagues, and most importantly, she loved the district. Whenever there was a contentious issue on the board and the public would express their opinions in meetings and the press in ways that were not always the most gracious toward Vanessa, she would invoke her mantra, I don't care what they think. This is all about the kids, and I do what is best for them. Or later, in its shortened form, it's all about the kids. She cared deeply and passionately about the children of Upper Dublin, and her work on the Upper Dublin Education Foundation, as she called it, the Ed Foundation, was the pinnacle of that passion. Whether through the Cardinal Opportunities Fund, the mentoring program, or fundraising at Monte Carlo night, she was fully committed and it showed. In private, she would tell me that she could see herself going off the school board at some point, but she would stay involved with the Ed Foundation forever. My family and friends intend to see her vision through and ensure she is part of it. Even though she is no longer here in body, she will remain in spirit through each of us. Again, my family and I thank all those involved with this award, her colleagues and friends who have supported her during her tenure, and all of the teachers, staff, students, and residents of Upper Dublin whom she served with pleasure. I have no way to express what this would have meant to her because her service to the community and her love of the district were part of who she was. You could not separate her from it, so to be recognized in this way would have had a profound impact on her and validates much of her hard work. To be recognized by her peers and many of the people she served in this way would have made her incredibly proud and humbled at the same time. While I cannot speak her words, I can tell you that my family and I are forever grateful. Thank you again.
Hi, I am Richard Schulman, and I am very honored to present the Upper Dublin Nonprofit Award to Montgo SAC, Montgomery County Senior Adult Activities Center. I want to thank the Upper Dublin School District, the Upper Dublin Township, the Upper Dublin Educational Association, and the Fort Washington Business Alliance for their consideration and for this award. Montgo SAC provides support, guidance, and education on social programs to seniors to help them continue to be active, healthy, and creative and engaged members of society. The MOW program, or Meals on Wheels, is a key element of the services we provide. We are the largest Meals on Wheels provider in Montgomery County, with approximately 300 volunteers serving over 350 meals daily. We have 2 senior centers and an intergenerational art center in our Amler location for all seniors in the Upper Dublin and surrounding areas. In this year of COVID, we have created a very robust and vibrant set of virtual programming classes. We do educational, health-related, exercise, Tai Chi, and a wide variety of other classes. We expect and hope to continue this after we are able to reopen. Our volunteers also provide a very simple wellness check to all our members. The members have become very attached to the volunteers, and I, as a volunteer, a Meals on Wheels volunteer, have also become attached to them. They look forward to seeing us. Often we're the only people they see each week, and I, as a volunteer, also look forward to seeing them and having our small little conversations. Finally, I want to congratulate Whitney Lingle, the Executive Director of Montgo SAC, and all of the approximately 25 employees for their efforts to help seniors thrive. I invite you all to visit our centers, partake in our online virtual classes, and participate in the arts program efforts in our Ambler site. We hope to see you soon. Thank you so much, and thank you for all you do for Upper Dublin.
Hi, I'm Montgo SAC Executive Director Whitney Lingle, and I want to thank the Upper Dublin Medals Committee for awarding us with this honor. Our Meals on Wheels program is just a small part of what we do. We also have 2 senior centers and an intergenerational art center. Our mission is to empower people to live well, and nothing exemplifies that better than the services we provide through Meals on Wheels. A combination of nutrition support, a friendly visit from a volunteer, and a daily wellness check helps save lives, makes people feel less isolated, and helps improve health outcomes over time. We're so honored to have the support of this community. Many of our volunteers actually come from Upper Dublin, and we appreciate the help and also the support and recognition of this award. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Upper Dublin community. It is my privilege and pleasure tonight to introduce this year's Educator of the Year, Ms. Danielle DiPasquale. Ms. DiPasquale served as a faculty member in both the English and Family Consumer Science departments for nearly 2 decades at both Sandy Run Middle School and Upper Dublin High School. In addition to teaching at both schools, and often traveling between both, Ms. DiPasquale has taught across various grade levels, demonstrating a high degree of expertise in all areas. Through the pages of American and world literature, she has traveled with students while developing their reading, writing, and research skills. As part of her family and consumer science classes, Ms. DiPasquale has partnered with Montgomery County IU's Head Start program, promoting school readiness of young children from low-income families. As the sole coordinator with Head Start, Ms. DiPasquale spends abundant hours orchestrating logistics, transportation, placements, lessons, and experiences that ensure a safe, quality experience for both the children as well as the Upper Dublin High School students with whom they are partnered. Outside of class, Ms. DiPasquale has not only encouraged and motivated students to join extracurricular clubs that would foster their talents, but she also attends myriad events in which they take part. As an annual sponsor for multiple students' community study projects, she always offers effective feedback and motivates students to be the best version of themselves. Ms. DiPasquale practices a whole child approach in her classroom. She believes in taking care of the student as a person, which opens the door to learning and relationships. In fact, a colleague overheard her this week explaining to her child development class how the most important thing about education is having a connection with students. She understands that the teacher-student bond is the most important thing to establish before learning can begin, and she practices this faithfully. Ms. DiPasquale invariably discovers ways to celebrate even the smallest accomplishments, and as a result, her students achieve and succeed because she is a stalwart cheerleader, always pushing them further. As a colleague, Ms. DiPasquale demonstrates a willingness to share ideas, talents, and experiences, both in school and through community activities. She spends an ample amount of time presenting and sharing resources for all departments through professional development days. Colleagues have referred to her as a quintessential morale booster, a team player, and someone who helps fellow teachers to feel comfortable with new technology and instructional strategies. She strives to make those of us at Upper Dublin all better educators and better people. Ms. DiPasquale's opening line, no matter what you come to her with, from the academic to the personal, is forever and always, "How can I help?" She then proceeds to give the kind of help you were, in your heart of hearts, really hoping for. I am thrilled to introduce my colleague and friend as this year's Educator of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Danielle DiPasquale.
Thank you, Upper Dublin Township, Upper Dublin School District, the Upper Dublin Ed Foundation, and the Fort Washington Business Alliance for selecting me as this year's Outstanding Educator. And thank you, Noelle McNesby, for the lovely introduction. I am truly humbled to accept the award this evening, and I want to be very sure to acknowledge those who support me. To Dr. Yanni and the Office of Teaching and Learning, thank you for letting me have a seat at the table when designing curriculum. And to Bob, Chris, Kim, and Phil, thank you for understanding that while I am a teacher, I am also a mother, a wife, a daughter, a sister, a worrier, and that these different facets of my life must coexist. To Brina, thank you for leading with such grace and poise and for answering every frantic text and phone call. To Jan McLean, thank you for handing me an incredible child development program. And thank you to Kim Schuler, Bob Schultz, Chris Horn, Julie Clapp, our MCIU Head Start partners, elementary school principals, and elementary school mentor teachers for helping sustain and strengthen the program at all levels. This program is a prime example of what we can achieve when we collaborate. To my colleagues, knowing that this nomination came from you has given me validation that I didn't know that I needed. Thank you for lifting me up. And to my students, thank you for your patience and for your willingness to try new things, to challenge perspective, and to offer feedback. Each year you inspire me and help me improve. People often ask me how I manage the content of teaching in 2 different departments, and the answer here is really simple. It's not about the content. Content is secondary. Relationships are first. And yes, while I do care about Maslow and MLA, none of that matters if the relationship isn't there, because to me, teaching is personal. My most favorite moments exist before and after class, sharing pictures of prom dresses and hearing about letters of acceptance and developing inside jokes. Those are the moments that have been the most difficult to create this year, but they are the moments that we need in order to sustain us as we close one chapter and start a new one. And so I would encourage you to go out, try to get to know each other just a little bit better. Pause, ask questions, listen to understand. Because once the relationship is there, the learning on so many levels can happen. Before I say goodbye, I want to be sure to thank my family. To my parents, husband, and sisters, the hardest working people that I know, thank you for understanding that teaching is not a 9-to-5 job. I could not do this without you. And thank you to my daughters, who are way too young to realize, but everything that I do is in hopes of ensuring a bright future for you. Thank you again for this honor, and take good care.
Okay, so before we get to our 2 final awards, I'd like to give a quick explanation about the student medalist selection process. Teachers, administrators, guidance counselors, all these people at Upper Dublin High School nominate seniors for the Senior Leadership Award. And then those candidates are interviewed by the selection committee, and then 2 students are chosen. And I can assure you that that is the most difficult part of the process, because they're truly all amazing individuals and they're really all winners. All of the nominated students have established themselves as positive role models. They've shown exemplary leadership qualities in the classroom and through their involvement in extracurricular activities and other community activities. So I'd like to acknowledge this year's finalists for the Student Award: Julia Boaz, Aiden Nadell, Leanna Long, and Daniel Kaplan. So congratulations to you. You really do truly represent the best of the best, and you should all be incredibly proud. So right now I'm going to pass it to Matthew Dwyer to present the first Student Medal Award to Peyton Kullman.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to present this year's UD Medal of Excellence to Peyton Kullman. This award is presented to a member of the Upper Dublin High School senior class who's displayed outstanding leadership in academics, athletics, through their involvement in music, drama, or other school and community activities. The student has established himself as a positive role model in the school and community through these endeavors. So when I think of the UD Medal of Excellence, I think of the word excellence, right? And I think excellence is not oftentimes properly recognized, right? People think excellence is straight A's, getting into top-notch schools, making it to state championships, winning district titles. But Peyton Kullman has done all of these things, but her true excellence is who she is as a person, right? Not just as a student or an athlete or a leader in her community, right? She's the epitome of what we all strive to be, right? As a student, I had the pleasure of teaching Peyton her sophomore year in AP US history, and she is a pleasure to have in the classroom. Right? She is a true student. She is organized. She is willing to help her classmates out. She's inquisitive. She's engaging. She's always engaged in the learning process for the sake of learning something new. Right? She's not there just to get the grade. Right? The grade comes as a byproduct of her desire to learn, and that's incredibly refreshing for us as teachers. So, Peyton was an absolute joy to have in the classroom her sophomore year. I've also had the pleasure of coaching Peyton for the past 4 years in track and field. And in the athletic realm, she's just as good as she is in the classroom. She was a varsity member of the field hockey team for 3 years. She's been a varsity member of the track team for 4 years. And in those 4 years, she's left an indelible mark on our program, finishing second in the finishing second in the district championship as a sophomore in the triple jump, competing in 3 other events at the district championship, moving on to the state championship as a sophomore, competing indoors in the state championship as a junior before getting cut short with the pandemic last year outdoors. She picked up right where she left off those years. This year has been, nothing short of another great year for her. She's already qualified for 4 events in the upcoming district championship in a couple of weeks. But the reality is, what I appreciate most about Peyton on the track is, not her ability or her drive to succeed every day, but what she does for the team, right? And what can be considered And in individual sport of track and field, Peyton ensures that it's a team sport. She always is putting the team first, whether it's in relays or in workouts or in just helping her teammates. Right? We have 18 different events in the sport of track and field and only 3 coaches. Right? So many days we rely on Peyton to teach our teammates the ins and outs of the triple jump, the different phases and how to improve them, how to improve their hurdling technique, how to properly run races. It's like having an extra coach there. But luckily it's a senior on the team here. She's left an indelible mark on this program that'll be extremely difficult to replace. So, when I look at that, she's a great student, she's a great athlete. But to me, the biggest compliment I can give her is that she is an incredible person, right? So she's what every teacher wants, she's what every coach wants, but her excellence is really kind of what she does for the community as well. Right? She's extremely hardworking, she's driven, but she's one of the most genuine people that I've ever met. She volunteers the Seeds of Hope Pantry. She was a volunteer coach for the Special Olympics. She's also co-organizer of the Field Hockey Corners for Cancer this year. And she does all these things outside of school and even inside of school, numerous clubs that we didn't even mention. But she does them not to build her resume, as some students do, right, to kind of look good for college. She does it because she genuinely believes in them, right? And to me, that's incredibly refreshing, right? She's involved in the community. She's involved in the school because she wants to make a difference. And she is, right? And what's been an incredibly difficult year for so many people, right? It's the compassion. It's the desire to help others, right? And it's the smile of people like Peyton that are making a difference this year, right? That are putting us all in a better place. And Peyton is doing that, right? Like I said earlier, she's what we aspire to be, right? She's 17, 18 years old and already making a difference in this world. And in closing, I just think of a quote here by Abraham Lincoln where he says, "I'm not bound to win, but I am bound to be true. Right? I'm not bound to succeed, but I am bound to live up to what light I have." Right? And I think Peyton lives that every day. Right? She is not bound to win, right? But she is true to herself. Right? She is true to what she believes in, right? And she makes a difference every day. And she is a leader because of what she believes in, and that brings her a confidence, right, to impart that knowledge and that wisdom and that compassion on others. And I don't think there could be a better recipient than Peyton Kullman for this year's UD Medal of Excellence. Congratulations, Peyton.
Hi, I'm Peyton Kullman. I'm so honored to be receiving this award tonight. First, thank you to the Upper Dublin Township, Upper Dublin School District, the Upper Dublin Education Foundation, and the Fort Washington Business Alliance for all they've done to keep this award and tradition a part of our community, even in these difficult circumstances. I'm so blessed to have been in this school district for 13 years, starting as a Gerritown Dragon and now graduating as a UD Cardinal. I have so many people to thank for their contributions to my growth and education. First, I want to thank my teachers for their time and endless patience in making sure that I truly understood what was being taught. Rather than focusing on the numerical grade I worked for in each course, I most remember the aha moments and deep understanding I gained of tough concepts. These moments would not have been possible without the commitment of my UD teachers. They also taught me so much more than just the class content. For example, Mr. Nelms taught me to not worry so much and to always take the time to share a laugh. Mrs. Pugh showed me how much a smile and warm hello can impact someone's day. And Mr. Traley, Mr. Fogel, and Mrs. Lim taught me to never be ashamed when asking for help. My teachers made me feel valued, and I'll always be grateful for that. I also want to thank my devoted coaches. They showed me that even after a tiring day at school and a long night of homework ahead, it's necessary to clear my head and start fresh at practice. Coach Boyer inspired me with her grace, compassion, and drive. She taught me that if I have a goal, I should step up, do it, and do it the right and honorable way. Her personal sacrifice and commitment to our field hockey team made my senior season amazing, and I've been so lucky to have someone like her to look up to. Mr. Dwyer taught me so much in the classroom and on the field. His belief in the UD track team really impacted what I believed my teammates and I could do. He always emphasized the importance of working together. 1 or 2 great athletes won't win a meet. It's about depth and the efforts of everyone coming together that get you to that goal. I'm so excited to go into college and life understanding this value of teamwork. I also want to thank my parents. My mom showed me that even when I'm overwhelmed, the best thing to do is tackle one thing at a time. She was always there to encourage me and keep me going along the way. My dad taught me not to sweat the small stuff, even if it was actually kind of big stuff. Instead of being paralyzed when I made mistakes, he pushed me to get up again and take tangible steps to work through the situation. Both my parents also reminded me daily that more important than any success or accomplishment is my faith and finding my worth in the Lord. Finally, I want to thank my 6 siblings and my friends. They made me smile, laugh, and have a great time no matter what their circumstance. Sharing my high school experience with 3 of my siblings brought us really close together, and catching up with my younger siblings after school was one of the brightest parts of my day too. As I look forward to this next chapter of my life, I'm grateful for the opportunity to thank the Upper Dublin community for all they've done for me and teaching me so many things. I'm honored to be receiving this award. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Mary Jane Lyons, and I am the high school librarian. And I am privileged this evening to introduce our student medal winner, Aiden Pullian. I want to thank everyone for joining this virtual experience and for each person who has participated in helping to make this evening a special one for everyone who's been honored. And it's my turn to honor Aiden. One of the things that I think is most important for us to understand about who Aiden is for us to take a moment to close our eyes and think back to our freshman high school selves. Have you the courage to be like Aiden and walk into a library and introduce yourself and participate in a musical showcase in front of the entire school? Have you the courage to participate in a course that has never been run before, that is completely unscripted and is going to be an experience that no one can tell you how to navigate? Have you the courage as a sophomore to stand up in front of professionals, in front of college professors, in front of the school board, and in front of school administrators to advocate for a building that no one has ever dreamt of creating? As a junior, do you have the courage to join and start a club that will advocate for racial equality, gender equality, against bias? And then as a senior, have you the courage to turn your educational year that is supposed to be so quintessential into a phoenix and dare to rise up and do something completely different and new, writing your own television scripts and participating in a class that, as your sophomore year, was completely new. And for the first time ever in high school history, you get to do it all over again. If you could answer yes to any of those questions, you would have a modicum of the courage of Aiden Pullian. But Aiden could answer yes to all of them. And so it is my honor to introduce you to a student who has courage to try new things, to be a vanguard of change, and to take on opportunities and create the best experience he can. And he does it all with jokes. So it is my pleasure to introduce to you Aiden Pullian.
Hi, I'm Aiden Pullian, which you probably already know, but I needed a way to start my speech. First, I'd like to thank the UD Medal Committee, so to Upper Dublin Township, School District, Education Foundation, and Fort Washington Business Alliance, thank you. My experience in Upper Dublin has been defined by great friends and amazing teachers. As a self-proclaimed eccentric, I'm very grateful to all my friends who put up with my quirkiness and allowed me to be myself. So, to all my friends who have let me be me, thank you. Next up is my teachers. I've been very fortunate to have had teachers who supported me and encouraged me to break through all my limits. So, to all my teachers who have always had my back, thank you. Next up is my family. Sir Isaac Newton once said, "If I have seen further, it is by standing on the shoulders of others." Therefore, please let me list off the heights of everyone in my immediate family. My dad is 6 feet even. My mom is 5'9". My brother is 6'3". My grandma is 5'6", and my dog is about 1 foot. Put together, we make a total of about 31 feet. With my family supporting me, there's no top shelf that I cannot reach. So, to my family, thank you. This is truly an honor that I will cherish forever, or at least for a very long time. So, to everyone watching who made this possible, thank you.
Wow, whether in person or virtual, this event is always an inspiration to me, and I hope that you feel the same way. So medalists and all of your families, we thoroughly enjoyed celebrating you tonight. I hope you felt the Upper Dublin community's love and support surround you. We thank you so much, and good night.
Thank you all for joining us in our virtual celebration of our 2021 medalists. It really has been an honor to hear about all of their amazing work. Thank you again for joining us.
Excellence was also exhibited by our Upper Dublin frontliners during this very challenging year. We are grateful for their perseverance and showing just how Upper Dublin strong we are.
Like the 36 years before, this year's UD Medal Ceremony continues to inspire us. I think we can all agree that we have many reasons to be Upper Dublin proud.
Here's to 2022, in person once again. Good night, everyone.